All right, guys, I am here with Kyle Pursley. Kyle, you've been in the program for quite some time now, right? Like, when did you first join our community, roughly?
Roughly about 3 to 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's been some time, man. We just chit chatted right before we started the video, and you're like, I've got to see you get married, have your daughter, like your journey, right? That's you've been around, man. So I appreciate you for taking advantage and just running with this thing. There's obviously folks that are tuning into this video, and you and I just gonna have a conversation, man. I really want to just learn more about your success, what you've been able to do with the information that I've been sharing with you through the years. And just let's start with telling me where are you from? Where do you live right now?
So right now I'm out of Louisville, Kentucky.
Got it. Louisville, Kentucky. And for the guys for people that don't know, this is like the next Conor McGregor right now that we're talking to. Jiu-jitsu master Joe Rogan.
I love it. I love it.
That's awesome, man. So, but yeah, we can get into that and stuff. And I know that you work in a lot of gyms. So you've been in for like 3 or 4 years. Let's just get the stuff out the way. I mean, you've been working on your agency now for the past, getting close to half of a decade. What type of revenue are you guys seeing right now in your agency at this point per month?
At this point per month, we're roughly hitting like the 50 to 85K. It's kind of a fluctuating here and there, just due to just growing the program, trying to make reduce churn and continuing to make things better in that way.
That's awesome, man. I mean, that's life-changing income. I mean, you could almost do anything you want at that point, at that level. So congrats, man. I love jumping on these calls because I get to learn, so much about the students like in the program and where they're at and where they're headed. Are you married? Do you have kids or anything?
Yeah, so it's funny that you kind of bring that up, right? So like I've seen your story kind of, as you've progressed, as you said earlier, and so check this out. I got married roughly a year ago, and at the same time, I've also like 3 months ago, I had a baby girl, and her name is Adeline Sky, and my wife's name's Courtney. And yeah, it's been absolutely crazy to think that I didn't think this, being a part of this program at one point in time would have helped me even start a family too, even to that point.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. So baby girl, 3 months old, got married a year ago. You starting your family, your business is thriving. Yeah, I mean we're both mom dads, right? Isn't it? To be a girl dad, it's awesome.
Yeah.
um,
Girls, man, they always like the dad for some reasons. What I hear, anyways, starting to get
yeah,
like that.
for sure. Well, bring me back to 3 4 years ago when you first joined the program. Like, what was going on in your mind? Like, why was it important to start to figure out how to create your own economy? Maybe start a side business or something like that. Like, what was going on in that time in your life?
Um, yeah, so that's really cool. So I'm gonna try to paraphrase this as much best I can. All right, because I know we have limited time here. But when I was rough, so I'm 26 now. Okay, so about 4 years ago, roughly 22-ish years old, I came back from. I used to live in Minnesota, and I just was learning different business models and such and stuff like that because it's all about trying to make yourself a better person, and on every angle, you see different ads and so on and so forth. And from that time, it just built curiosity, and around that time, ironically, Conor McGregor style, I discovered jujitsu.
Yeah.
And then I learned this whole thing about like, okay, time and money. And I used to work at Best Buy around this time. Okay, like making $12 an hour, just the norm, like job to like go sell at Best Buy as far as TVs goes and so on and so forth. And then I realized that I was capping myself out as far as time goes. And that's kind of like where I was around that time before starting the program. I was working an hourly job. I came back from a different state, just trying to get my mind right, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Got it. I mean, I think you said you were paraphrasing, and I'm sure there's a lot more to that story. But that story does sound familiar. I think a lot of people at some point in their life, they're looking for more fulfillment. They're looking for more purpose, right?
Ooh, I love how you said that too.
Yeah.
Like I've went through some like ups and downs mentally and so on and so forth, but I find that like as long as men, especially as men, like as long as we're pushing towards a goal, I feel like that gives us purpose and it sets us free from, let's say, anxiety or like depression and things like that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely, man. And I know it and understand it because I went through it too, and most people, basically anyone that I work with are in that same journey. There's different levels to the journey, but they're all, searching like, what is it I'm here for? What is it I need to do? Right. Congrats to you. I applaud you for finding that, and luckily it was with me and my family and my community, right? And that's a huge honor. But yeah, we all are going through life, searching for that. And it takes it takes applied wisdom to be able to, and maturity to really realize, I'm not where I want to be, and I need to create opportunities for myself, and I need to keep my head on a swivel, and I need to be poking around my eyes and head around the corner, right? It's just like, my mentor, he trained Lance Armstrong through 9 Tour de France's. He was his cornerman, and I have the honor to call him my cornerman. But one of the biggest things he talks about, just like when Lance is on his bike navigating through the land, he's always poking or looking around the corner to see what's coming up, what turn he needs to make, who needs to run and bypass on his bike, right? It's the same thing through life. If you're not poking around the corner for opportunities and creating opportunities, you're not going to catch things, right? And you're not going to open yourself up to new opportunities. And one of the saddest things for me is, and then I ask people, when I go speak, and if I have the opportunity to be in front of a bunch of folks, I always ask them, like, what's going to happen that day when you show up and everything's asked for you, but you weren't prepared to give it all you've got because you didn't train yourself, right? Like that to me, it's just, you had your once in a lifetime opportunity, yet you were unprepared and untrained, right?
that's
So
so awesome. Like the things that are going through my head as you kind of bring that up, as you reach different levels too, I mean, in your business, just because that's like the main topic we're talking about too, is like, I've noticed I've had to become a stronger leader and prepare myself to receive it. That's even biblical, like, I mean, prepare to receive it, position yourself like so. And I know I'm very happy I'm not the same person I was a few years ago. So I don't mean to cut you off there, but that was very powerful what you just said.
I appreciate that, man. And you can cut me off all day. It's all good. It's
Okay.
exchange of value, and but yeah, man, I just want to point that out because I think I think it's super relevant to anyone getting into business or being in the state of maturity of realizing, hey, that I need to be doing more with my life, basically, right?
Yes.
So
Sure.
But yeah, man. So yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. Well, you've gone through this journey now 3-4 years. Things sound amazing. Family, business. What are the types? Tell me a little bit about the types of businesses that you're working with, because one of the biggest things is like, hey, if you're gonna start a business, you got to choose a niche. So what has been your niche, or has it been a few things?
Yeah, so funny story. It has been a few things in the past, not gonna lie. My first client ever was a gym owner, and I like to bring up that famous book everyone knows about, Think and Grow Rich, okay? And the reason why I think it took me a little while longer to find everything out or figure everything out is because I was being coachable, but at the same time, maybe not as coachable as I could be. So the one niche feeling, and the reason why I bring up that book to tie into that thought is because of the whole assembly line ordeal. If it's, it makes things much easier when it's the same thing, same niche at least, because as far as talking to clients, relating to them about their business, but at the same time, the fulfillment side and getting results and all that good stuff, that I think was super important. And I feel like I just wasn't ready to receive that part because I wasn't willing to trust that path, so like multiple niches. help me out with the short term, but in the long term, like you said, specializing and going after that one niche, which is security dealers at this moment in time.
Nice.
And yeah, so
Very cool, man. Very cool. Well, so I mean, you gotta eventually, with everything you're doing, it comes a point where you have to be open-minded and ready to accept information and take action on information.
right.
Right. Most people, I think, in the beginning. Oh, there's a train coming by. Most people in the beginning are very stuck in their own ways, have limiting beliefs. They have the same stories that they've been telling themselves for years and years and years. So it's very hard to break those patterns. And then you got all that stuff. And then on top of that, you got the way your brain is hardwired, right? If you understand.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, keep going. Yes.
Human psychology, man, like we're all hardwired to go into survival mode. It's in our genes. It's very primal. That's why, I'm gonna just throw this out there. Whenever the pandemic originally happened, right? What did people do? They took all their money out the stocks and crypto market. They formed super long lines to go get toilet paper, right? This is all essential stuff that we need, but it's just a reflection of survival. Like, let me scoop up everything and bring it really close to me and go get in the corner. But closed hands don't get fed. Is what it is at the end of the day. So, but yeah, man, you've definitely went through that and you've overcome it, and I hope that, like, just obviously people are watching this, so hopefully that is speaking through, because I know most people that I talk to and coach, these are things that they're not poking around the corner or have the right mentor in their life to help them realize this is what they need to be doing, or how maybe they should need to shift how they're thinking, right?
Right. So the solution mindset is like I like to kind of call it, because like if you're in like a program, especially with what we're doing, if you think about it, we are paid to solve people's problems, like again and again and again. You should practice what you preach, even with your own life. Like, I mean, when we're talking to either clients or I'm talking to you, I just try my best to practice what I preach. When things are going good, I make sure that, we kind of build that momentum. If they're not, it's a team collaboration. And I have this funny thing on my website. It's called Learn, Adapt, Execute, Overcome. And it's just like, that's pure life advice, but it also kind of ties into business too, right? So that whole paradigm shift to having a mentor definitely helps. But at the same time, once you get into this type of business, it's always a lot of problem solving all the time. And that's what business is, right? I mean, if you think about it, like, it's always a problem or solution we have to find. Yeah. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, Elon Musk said himself, you can go look this up, but he said the people that make the most money and have the most impact solve the most important problems, right? So the bigger the problem, the bigger the payout, the bigger opportunity that you can solve the biggest problem will offer you the biggest payout, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's what we do. I mean, as you know, businesses in general, especially brick and mortar businesses, small to medium-sized businesses, they all need customers, right? And unfortunately, most of them don't know how to use social media, online advertising to drive customers, paying customers in the door. And that's why we've been able to do what we do, right? So
yeah, we're always, and you know what's crazy too, man? Like, I'm kind of on this kick of two things. One, it's system building, like, again, because obviously I've seen it in my own business and payout and stuff like that. But like, at the same time, it kind of goes into like the simplicity side. It's not that crazy and not that hard to necessarily create systems. It's just taking the time to do so. And that kind of goes into like, I'm very surprised at how many like some business owners don't have the simplest systems in place to make all the difference in the world, right? So I guess like you could call it job security, I guess you could say in this case. But at the same time, like, I was very surprised, and it's okay, because it just shows that we can all be successful and not have it all together. I know I don't have it all together, so.
Absolutely. Neither do I. Like, I don't act like I'm perfect. There's definitely things that I'm learning as I'm growing as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. And yeah, you're right. I mean, most of these small businesses that we work with, they don't have the simplest follow-up sequences or CRM. to manage their lead flow. And, those are all things that we bring to the table to help them with. And that's why we get paid what we get paid. So, but cool, bro. So yeah, let's shift gears a little bit. So you kind of, to recap, got married, kids, you guys doing 50, 80K a month. I mean, dude, it's so freaking awesome. Been in around 4 years. Sounds like you're playing in the security space as far as your niche. Well, tell me, like, where do you think that you're going to be going here? Like, where do we work? If I were to call you up in 5 or 10 years and say, Kyle, how was the last 5 or 10 years? Like, where are you at now? Where do you think that you're going to take yourself, your family, and your company here in the next 5, 10 years?
Okay, so that's a great question. So when I see myself kind of like in a maybe 5 or 10 year mark, I said something about earlier about practicing what you preach. And I wanted to be sure I accomplished at least, hitting that $1 million run rate or so or more, that way I could help out just like the 5 to 10 year spot right here as far as like helping other people, whether it's like collaborating with people I've worked with in the past, my mentors, like to where like, they've given me so much, like how can I like continue to help their program out and grow at the same time, be in a position to where I can coach things that are specific to what I'm good at,
Yeah.
And I feel like in the beginning, you're just focused on going after the specific skills, and now it's more on systems. So in the 5 to 10 years, better systems with my health. So when you call me, like I'm gonna have my times to where like I'm consistently going to the gym or consistently spending time with my family at the same time, helping other businesses thrive. Whether it's in the agency space or it's just the security dealers themselves. But as of right now, I think that's the biggest thing, helping other people that struggled with I dealt with during the whole grind, if you want to put it, help them thrive as well.
Absolutely. So
5 to 10 years coaching, maybe, and at the same time, I hope I have my black belt in jiu-jitsu, man. Like, I'm just saying, it's like it's definitely a long progress, and I know about jiu-jitsu. It takes a long time to like get a belt. So,
well, hey, I know about it. I watch UFC. I love boxing. When I was in the Navy, we studied some stuff. I got like a brown belt, but it wasn't like anything crazy, not jujitsu. But dude, you're the Conor McGregor here, like not me. So you tell me about the belt system, right?
Yeah. No, so like basically, it takes like 10 years to get a black belt. If you're going consistently, that's a big thing.
It's a long road.
But then, like, I guess to wrap it up, really, it's just my goal is always, everyone knows about Tai Lopez, right? With the health, wealth, love, and happiness, like all those pillars. I'm constantly trying to improve those. But I tell you what, man, it would be solid to hit a $10 million mark in the future, as far as like in the digital marketing space, for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah. Absolutely. I just want to point this out. You listed off literally everything that you want to be doing in the next 5 or 10 years that has to do with significant impact on how you're going to help change the world, how you're going to help your family. And the last thing that you mentioned was money. We don't want money. We want the opportunities that money brings.
That's so good. I love that. I was watching Undercover Billionaire, and like Grant Cardone was on that too, and he was like, dude, all these guys are chasing after the money, chase the opportunity. And then within the first 2 weeks or whatever he was there, he made 10 grand. Like, stupid. But the opportunity, I love that. Yes. And that was another thing I overcame, during the future. Immediate bills had to get paid, yeah, but like I was forced to work for free to figure it out,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. Well, hey, bro, I want to respect your time. This has been super impactful, super inspiring. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. The last thing I just want to ask you, man, is obviously folks are watching this call. They're like, is this Douglas James guy for real? Like, has he really helped other people? I hope this is a testament with all the other videos I do all the time. But look, what is your honest feedback? Would you recommend my training, my programs, to people that are looking to create their own economy, do something different online? What would your honest feedback be to them?
I would say if you're looking to better your all-around self, the program is pretty awesome because of the mindset, because of the trainings. listen to him when he says one niche. It may save you a couple of years. Okay. But yes, I highly recommend the program to anybody who's, either wanting to escape their 9 to 5, they're already a business owner, maybe they're trying to improve their overall business with systems like we were talking about. And then of course there's different pillars to life. Remember, and as you connect with people in new networks, you're able to get some value here and there. I'm blessed to be able to talk to the man, the myth, the legend right here. So I'm telling you guys, I definitely highly recommend it.
Cool. Well, hey, man, I appreciate the recommendation. I'm going to go ahead and close this thing out. But again, dude, keep doing what you're doing, man. You're an inspiration. I see your post in the community when you pop in there. And, I know there's a lot of people that look up to you as well. So thank you for, you know, staying true to your heart, man, and staying the journey and staying committed. Because, at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about, commitment. And, commitment for me is doing what you said you were going to do. Even after the thought of doing it, the excitement of doing it has already gone, right? You have demonstrated commitment, so I appreciate that, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, brother.
My God, I appreciate you so much for taking the time to make all this happen.
Awesome. Absolutely, Kyle. I'll catch you on the flip side, brother. I'll see you soon.
All right, man.